Good morning. Today is Thursday, January 20th, and it is a white day. Tomorrow will be a gear day, which means visible SGA gear on top with dress code appropriate bottoms. Jenks Studio will be on campus to photograph students, faculty, and staff who still need their photo taken for the yearbook on Thursday, January 27th. If you are a new student or did not have your photo taken in the fall, please come to Fuller Hall during a free block to have your photo taken. Even if you do not plan to purchase the photos, there are still photos that will appear in the yearbook, so it is important to have your photo taken. Applications for the Governor's Institute of Vermont are open for all freshmen through juniors from Vermont. The Governor's Institute is an intensive learning summer program hosted at college campuses all over the state. This year, they are offering programs in art, astronomy, engineering, entrepreneurship, environmental science and technology, global issues and youth action, health and medicine, mathematical sciences, and technology and design. For more information, you can check out their website at giv.org or stop by the guidance office. The application deadline is April 3rd. Attention international students. Any student wanting to take the February 12th TOEFL, the registration deadline is tomorrow by noon. Email Mrs. McCaffrey to register and with any questions. Calling all public speakers. Once again, the St. Johnsbury Rotary Club is sponsoring a high school speech contest that offers students a chance to use their voices to change lives and win cash prizes. Last year, 3 Academy students took home hundreds of dollars in prizes, and one, Clara Andre, was selected as regional runner-up. This year's topic is how can your school partner with Rotary to change lives? Speeches are limited to 5 minutes and need to relate to this topic to teamwork and Rotary values. If you are interested in competing, you can pick up a registration form in the headmaster's office. Are you concerned with the current state of affairs in the United States? Do you want your voice to be heard? If you answered yes to either of these questions, then listen carefully. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders wants to hear from you. Bernie is sponsoring his State of the Union essay contest. In this short essay, you need to identify a problem that is facing the United States today and propose ideas on how the issue could be solved. SJA students have fared well in this essay contest, and a recent graduate, Quinn Nelson Mayo, won the contest 3 years ago. There are 3 finalists from the Academy 2 years ago. Maylee Brighton was a finalist last year. If you are named a finalist, you will have the opportunity to meet the senator at the Vermont State House, and your essay will be entered into the congressional record, making your work an official part of American history. Please see Mr. Eckhart or any social studies teacher for more information about this opportunity. Calling all dancers. Palm Dance Club will be starting up this Thursday. It will be jazz dance based and uses elements of cheer dance. No experience required at all, just be ready to get moving and grooving. Stop by Campus Life to sign up or stop by the guidance office to see Ms. Carr with any questions. Techstorm, SJA's Robotics Club, will be meeting today in Streeter 230 starting at 3:45. Feel free to stop by to see the robot and learn to build another. Knitting Club starts up again this afternoon. Join us in Severance 16 at 3:30 to make yourself something warm and fuzzy to wear. No experience or supplies necessary. Come to the Asian Cultural Club today. Join us to experience the beauty of arts in Asian countries, which includes China, Japan, Korea, etc. We will take a closer look at the ancient arts of history and try to draw them with quills. If you have any questions, please email Eric at eric.chen@stjlabs.com. Remember, we are meeting in Streeter 255 in Miss Davis's room. This Saturday, the Outing Club will travel all the way to Barnet to climb some sweet waterfall ice. As it will be a cold morning, we will leave at 12 p.m., and after climbing a sweet waterfall and basking under the winter sunshine, we will return to campus by 4 p.m. In order to come on the trip, you must see Mr. Weiss in Colby 209 to get fit for boots, and you must pick up a permission slip in Campus Life. Today, the Debate and Discussion Club will meet to plan a style debate. All are welcome. Come to Colby 209 after E-Block to join in and get talking. Happy birthday today to Anna Robertson. Happy birthday. Have a great day.
Good morning, Academy community. It is Thursday, as you know, which means it's day 2 of Poetry Out Loud. So without further ado, I'll introduce Mrs. Mackenzie, who will introduce our final 2 contestants. Mrs. McKenzie.
Good morning, everyone. It's my great pleasure to introduce our final two contestants and our final day of the Poetry Out Loud competition for our school, which will determine our school winner. So today you're going to hear again from Rhea Leonie Voigtlander, and also from Madison Wilson. So let's have Rhea up first. Thanks.
Cartoon Physics by Nick Flynn. Children under, say, 10 shouldn't know that the universe is ever expanding, inexorably pushing into the vacuum. Whole galaxies swallowed by galaxies, whole solar systems collapsing, all of it acted out in silence. At 10, we are still learning the rules of cartoon animation. That if a man draws a door on a rock, only he can pass through it. Anyone else who tries will crash into the rock. 10-year-olds should stick with burning houses, car wrecks, ships going down, earthbound, tangible disasters, arenas where they can be heroes. You can run back into a burning house. Sinking ships have lifeboats. The trucks will come with their ladders. If you jump, you will be saved. A child places her hand on the roof of a school bus and drives it across a city of sand. She knows the exact spot it will skid, at which point the bridge will give, who will swim to safety and who will be pulled under by sharks. She will learn that if a man runs off the edge of a cliff, he will not fall until he notices his mistake. Thank you.
And now a poem given by Madison Wilson.
Enough by Susan Buffum. I am wearing dark glasses inside the house to match my dark mood. I have left all sugar out of the pie. My rage is kind of a domestic rage. I learned it from my mother, who learned it from her mother before her, and so on. Surely the Greeks had a word for this. Now, surely the Germans do. The more words a person knows to describe her private sufferings, the more distantly she can perceive them. I repeat the names of all the cities I've known and watch an ant drag its crooked shadow home. What does it mean to love the life we've been given? To act well the part that's been cast for us? Wind, light, fire, time. A train whistles through the far hills. One day, I plan to be riding on it. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. So I get to thinking about a message for today, and Dr. Howell and I were speaking about voting rights earlier in the week, reflecting on Dr. King's work. You heard on Monday about Dr. King's speech and his letter from a Birmingham City jail to the religious leaders of Birmingham. And it was, in fact, that movement, and more likely the bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church, that shocked America into doing something about justice, or rather injustice. So I got to thinking about the idea of poetry out loud, right? It's not being kept secret. We're hearing the voices of young people, and it's their choice what poems they would like to recite. And I noticed that Maddie had chosen the title of a poem called Enough. And in the poem, the author referenced a rage that was written about in the 1950s in a book entitled The Feminine Mystique. I often think that my mother's generation feels that rage. I think we're hearing more about it finally. So from Dr. King's letter from a Birmingham City jail to poetry out loud, to the essay contest that Senator Sanders sponsors every day, in which he asks for young people to give their voice about how America is doing, to our clubs and activities, in particular clubs like Scope, that engage young people in solving problems they see around them. The Rotary Speech Contest that you've heard about over the last couple of days. The Rotary is wondering, how can they partner with you to do something about a problem that you see in your community? I know that student government has various organizations, subcommittees dealing with problems, some seemingly small, like parking, but to others, that's a big deal. I would implore you all to take the lessons of this week and not stand idly by when you see a problem around you that's affecting you and many others. Rather, do something about it. So some years ago when I was teaching AP United States Government class, after the AP exam, we had a few weeks before the end of school, and I used to have students embark in some sort of policy initiative that they wanted to start, whether it was local, like the dress code, for example. Yes, we were thinking about the dress code even in 2003. And the most significant one of these policy initiatives was one by Catherine Levasseur, who ended up going to the University of Vermont and was Miss Vermont. We're in the March of that year, and there was a primary election for who would stand for the various offices around the state, in particular the governorship. Catherine was 17, she would be 18 in November, but she was not going to be allowed to vote in the primary. And she felt like this was a terribly inappropriate action. She wanted to vote. She felt like she should have the choice of who would run for governor. After all, as she noted, the primaries are really the more important contest because it says who can run within a party. And those are the candidates you have standing. So rather than just complain about it, she was involved in a program called Girls Rock the Capitol, and I encourage folks to get involved with this. It's run through the Girl Scouts, and it places young women in internships with local legislators. And so she went to the Capitol for 4 weeks. She did her work from there. Yes, we were doing remote learning even then. And she got together with the senator and decided to propose an amendment to the Constitution of the state of Vermont. Yes, she was a 17-year-old young woman, but she found something that she thought was not just, and she was determined to make a change. If you know anything about the Vermont Constitution, you know it takes a while to have a constitutional amendment passed, right? Has to be proposed, has to be read into the legislature. The legislature has to pass it with a supermajority. Then it has to sit by law for 2 years, a biennium in the legislature, and they have to reconsider it and vote again. But she stayed with it. When she went to the University of Vermont, she continued to work with the senator, and she stayed with the program until it became an amendment to the Constitution. So now if you're 17 in March of this year and you're a Vermont citizen, you can vote in the primary elections on town meeting day, which will help determine who will run for the governorship. So my message is today, if you see something that you feel is unjust or a problem, don't stand idly by. Do something about it. Thank you for listening.